Hey, in this YouTube video I'm going to show you how to create a website, how to host a website for about $200 a year, and then how to upload content and write your own articles, and then also animate in Adobe Creative Cloud. So first thing I'm going to do is the website. So on Google you search for Registryrocket to register your domain, and then you click here. So here's where you can register your domain. So I'm just going to do like register your domain name here.com. You could choose .com, .net here, so .com's the best. Click register. And then later on you could log in over there. So right here is where you select .com or whatever, and then it gives you other suggestions. If it's grayed out, then it's not available, so you click purchase. So the domain registry, it costs about like $20 a year, and you just need to renew it each year. So right here you basically just fill out your password, your name, your address, all this information, then you pay $20 a year and you click purchase. It's $15 a year. You could do like 9 years if you want, and it's like $135. You agree to the terms right here, and then you click purchase. So once you do all that, then you're able to log into your domain. So you basically just type in whatever your domain name is, and then you enter in whatever your password is, and you click login. So this is your like login screen for your domain, and it's pretty simple. You basically just go to DNS information, and over here you click custom, and then here is where you enter in. So next to domain name server 1 and domain name server 2 is where you enter in your servers. So in addition to spending $15 a year just to register the domain name, which has the .com, you also have to sign up for website hosting, and I use Hostgator for that. You could also use GoDaddy, but I like Hostgator. They have really good customer support. So here, you basically go onto Hostgator, you go to web hosting, and you select whichever of the plans you want. It's about $200 a year, and they have good deals. So sometimes you get like $100 a year or whatever for like 3 years or something. And you basically sign up for it, and once you sign up for Hostgator, they'll email you a cPanel login link, because you'll have access to cPanel, which you could use to administer your website. So here is my cPanel login. Like they'll send this link to your email address once you sign up with Hostgator to sign up for your server for your domain name. And the cPanel is where, after registering with Hostgator, you can point your domain name servers from your Registryrocket to your Hostgator. So I just log into, I type in whatever password they email to you, and you log into your cPanel. So over here on the right hand side under DNS, it has the name servers here. So you could copy this name server 1 and name server 2, and then you paste them onto your registered domain over here, and you click save. So once you do that, then your website is pointed towards your domain name. So it's currently getting hosted. And then basically under cPanel, you scroll down to software and you click Quick Install, and then that brings you over to the Quick Install Marketplace. You create an account and you install WordPress. So Quick Install will quickly install WordPress on your website. So it'll take about a day, but the next day that you log in, so you can go to whatever your website is. So mine is vbatutorialcode.com, and I type in slash and then wp-login. That's how it works for every website. So basically you just type whatever your website is, .com, and then /wp-login, and then it'll bring you to the screen once WordPress is installed and the name servers are pointed to your website correctly. You could wait a day after installing Quick Install, and then this WP login page will work. So basically, once you do Quick Install, it'll email you whatever your WordPress name is and whatever their generated password is, which you could change after you log in. So basically here you click login, and then it'll bring you to your WordPress dashboard for your website. So your website, you can just go to your website normally by doing .com, but WordPress dashboard is where you basically create the posts and the articles, upload media, and install plugins, which lets you modify your website, etc. So under settings, you can do like all these different settings for how people interact with your website, if they could comment or not. Under appearance, you could go to themes and you could install, they have different, if you Google themes that you could buy, like Organic Magazine theme, but they have a lot of themes you could buy for like $100 and install. You just upload a zip file from whichever website you buy it from, and then you upload it here, and then you basically have that. You could click add new here, and then you upload it via zip file, and then you'll have that theme. And all the themes have different like customizing options and stuff. So if I go to my theme editor, you have like theme options and stuff too. Theme editor lets you edit like the CSS and the JavaScript and the PHP for your website. And I mean, if you have the Firebug app installed, you can right click anywhere and you could view page source, and you could inspect, so you could see like what each of the different parts of the website are just by highlighting over here. So you can work backwards through Firebug or inspecting page elements, and you could find out which part of your website is where, and then you could edit like the padding and the margins and the basic visual look of your website, and then you click update file here. So under theme options, it has all of the different like customizations for your pages and all that stuff. And like under background, you could change like the background of your website, and you could do like an image or whatever. So site identity is how it appears on Google. So when you search for vbatessoilcode.com, and then down here site icon is like it's a .ico file, so you upload, and you could Google, it's like, I don't know, 24 by 24 or something, and you upload it and it appears in the browser next to your website, so you could put like a logo there or something. And then under here, under colors, you could change like the header colors and the image for the top of the website, header image, at least with the magazine theme. Some themes are different, but you go to menus and you could customize like the menu, and you could have it point to specific posts or links, and then you could have sub menus too that are parts of menus, so it would be like underneath the menu, but that varies based on your theme. And then you could have like homepage settings, and you could say like what page you want to be your home page. And so WordPress, it has differences between pages, so you create pages and set that to your home page, or you create posts, and then you could just like add like an image to a page, and it'll link to basically to your post. So here are all my posts under my website. Basically click like add new, and then that lets you create a new post for your website. So up here is the H1, it's like the header for whatever the website is, and whatever you type here will end up being the link. So it would be like vbatessoilcode.com / this would be like the first article here, so it would be like first article here. So whatever you type here ends up being what comes after the / for your website, and you could change it over here. So over here is where you could like type in like a paragraph, or you could insert another block. So you could do like HTML, like common blocks, or well, you could do like an image. You could insert an image. You could do like a separator. You could do a page break, which it creates another page, and then you could Google how to add like a new page on your website. So you could do like widgets, you could add different like widgets and stuff, and if you're wondering like how to get like page 2 and stuff, you could just comment on my video and I'll tell you, and I'll paste the code in like the comment section or something. So you could add in different like embeds from like YouTube and stuff under your article, and you basically type here, and you press enter, and then make like another section, then you click here, add a page break, and then like add like audio down here, and click remove to, you click dot 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 to remove the block. You can click insert before to do insert before, or insert after to do insert after. You basically click publish once you're done, and your article will be located on your website now. So yeah, under all posts, you could see all like the different posts you have. I have like one in draft right here. So that's like the first article here. I didn't post it, and you could categorize your post too. So let me click edit again. You could put it in the trash. It's still not published yet, so nobody could see it. And you could add tags here for like it'll appear at like the bottom. So it'll be like article about whatever, comma, and separating by commas. And you can do categories. You can have like categories set up on your website, and you can categorize it so it's quicker to find if you have categories and stuff. So yeah, it's basic post editing and creation, and yeah, I mean with like pages, let me go to like all of my pages. So I'm gonna do like VBA tutorial code. That's my front page. So I'm gonna click edit. So I have like an image here. And right now I'm like in basic like block editing mode. But I go to edit as HTML, and then you could like I don't know, you basically learn like basic HTML, like that HR makes like a line that separates stuff. So yeah. And then like other HTML I know, you do like B, and then like I, and then slash B. That makes bold, and then like underline U makes underline, and then underline U, B, and then slash B is underline and bold, and then you can do like H1. And then you could do end H1 is header 1, and end header 1 you could do header 2 for smaller letters, header 3 for smaller letters, then header 2, and Google reads H1 as the most important word for your document, H2 is second most important for search engine optimization. And besides that, I guess like HR is a good way to like block out different things. And then like if you insert like you could have like a go-to with like you click a link and it'll bring you to a certain part of the page with like HTML. And yeah, there are different things you could just like Google whatever you need to do. So that's like basic WordPress like posts and like pages, the theme, how to like start up and start like posting content and stuff. And I mean the media section, that's basically the same thing as you can add media in your posts, and yeah, the media is just like where the links for media is located. You could upload like Excel files and stuff and all that other stuff. So besides that, I mean you got like the settings where you could fool around with like how the links appear. So let me go to general. So you get like the site title and the tagline, which was what I showed you before for how it appears in Google near the ICO thing that I mentioned. And then anyone could register. You could have like people's default registration rules when they register. You could have like the post format and when the week starts, and yeah, and then for like writing, you could do like whatever that is, and then like permalinks. So I do post name, so whatever you type in for like I did first article here is what comes after the forward slash, and then otherwise it'll be like based on like the date and then the post name. But I like the post name because I don't know, the date looks kind of stupid. So you set this up right away, so you don't have to change it later, because then you have to do like a HTTP. You have to do like a redirect thing or whatever, and it's pretty annoying to like redirect all the different links on your website. But they have plugins for redirecting all the different things. But I also use HTTPS redirection to install HTTPS. So enable automatic redirection for the entire website to HTTPS from HTTP. Because different corporations, they see HTTP as insecure, so you can do HTTPS for secured, and you do the whole domain, and that's the plugin I like to use for that. And then you could go to plugins and go to installed plugins, and here are the different plugins that I like to use. I like to use like Super Cache or whatever, and you can click delete cache after you upload or edit a post, and then it'll refresh your website with all the recent changes immediately instead of having to wait forever. And Google XML sitemaps points Google robots because they have web crawlers that suit Google looking for your website. So Google XML sitemaps, and you could Google like sitemaps for Google, and you could upload your site so that Google would find you. And then under like your cPanel, you can go over here and you go to AW stats, and you can see how many people. Mine is SSL because I did HTTPS, but originally it's .com, but it's SSL. So you click here and you can see how many people are visiting your website each month. By each of the years, you can do like a year or two. So this year I got like 11,000 people to my site, and you can see it by like each of the different days and all this other stuff, and you can see like how long people spent on your site. So this year people spent 210 seconds on average for 11,000 views, so whatever 210 times 11,000 is how long people spend on my website. So that's how you could like view your website stats, and that's basically what I use cPanel, and I log in and I just check that stuff. And I also use it to install WordPress. And I mean, if you're editing your website, you go to File Manager, and if you need to update like a theme or something, I go over here, and then you could go over here, and sometimes like a theme will like instruct you how to upload like a theme in here, or you need to like change something or upload something here. This is where you could do it, and you click upload here, and then you could just like select whatever file you want to do to upload. So that's how you could upload the different files you need to your website. And yeah, I mean, besides that, I mean, you have like everything set up already, and then like you could just like search all the different plugins over here and just find like whatever you need for plugins. They have forums that you could set up, like BBPress. They have HTTPS redirection, and I don't know, and like caches. Those are the most useful widgets I have. And then they have like Twitter widgets and social media widgets and stuff, which you could add to your pages. And I mean, widgets are the other important thing. So if you go to Appearance and Widgets, widgets are as cool as posts. So basically, you have the home sidebar, you have the right sidebar, which is the right-hand side of the screen. So you could add like images, and under here, like this is my right sidebar or my home sidebar. So you could add like images and stack them up on top of each other over there, and that's basically that. So you could have like footer widgets, which is like the bottom portion of the website, and yeah, you have like, you could add different widgets. Like you could add like post history, calendar, navigation menu, recent posts, text, video, all this. You could install like plugins for specific widgets that you want. And yeah, so that's basic widgets and basic website creation. And basically you could log out over here, edit your profile, and like all you could view all your users here and change whatever their roles are, so they could edit specific things, so only certain people can do certain things. And yeah, I mean, you could always do backups of your website from cPanel too. So they have like I don't know what it's called. It's like backup. Yeah, so you should always like do like backup wizard or something, and just like back up your website every so often. So if you ever need to reinstall it, you may mess up or something, you can just upload the website again. Hostgator support, if you Google Hostgator support, is very useful for any questions you have about your website. They always answer your questions right away in the message chat. So that's how you can create a website and back it up and edit it, post to it, etc. So now that I talked about how to create the website and how to get it running for about $200 a year, maybe $100 a year, or whatever, now I'm going to show you like Adobe Creative Cloud. So on adobe.com, you can go to sign up for the Creative Cloud. You could do, just say you're a student, do $20 a month for the year. It's about $240 for the year, and you pay like $20 a month, and you get access to Adobe Animate, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe After Effects, and all of the Adobe Creative Cloud. So here is Adobe Animate, and Animate, you could add different layers. So layer 2 here appears under layer 1. So anything I draw on layer 1 will be over layer 2. And then if I drag it under there, then it's behind. So it's, they stack on top of each other. So you could do different keyframes down here. You could insert keyframe, and then you could add a tween, create motion tween to change how the shape moves over time, kind of like stick figure action, whatever. But I'm not going to show how to do that because I don't really do that anymore. And yeah, you can like add movement and change shapes over time based on different like pivots or whatever. So here is something that I drew. So I drew a PDF line. So I did that with like the line tool. You could just draw that. See how that line's like really small. So you go over here, you can change the stroke size to like 12, and then you could basically like connect all the lines. And then if you want to fill it in, you can't use the fill in tool. You use the select, and you go up here and you go to modify shape and convert lines to fills. So now you could fill in between the lines. Otherwise you can't. So that's how you do that. And then basically you could change like all the different colors down here. You can select like the color wheel up here and select whatever color you want. And so this is basically, the first one is what the paintbrush is, and the second one is what the line tool is, and like basically the outline. So that's basically what the difference is between these two boxes. And yeah, you could I don't know, somewhere over here under window they have all the different colors. So you could do linear gradient, and over here you could have like it transitions from green to orange for the color. And now I'll paint that, and notice how like it switches from green to red. So that's how the color changes. And yeah, you have different windows over here for whatever you want on the right hand side. I like the stroke and the smoothing. Smooths your drawing. So notice how I'm going to draw a circle here, and then I'm going to add smoothing all the way up, and I'm going to draw a circle here. And normally it like smooths it a little bit, but let me just like zoom in a little bit. So got that circle, and then smoothing 0. Yeah, I don't know. Normally it smooths it, but for some reason it's not. And yeah, you could change like magnets. So like this thing, like it snaps in place whenever you like draw stuff. So you could turn on the magnet, and I'm not really sure how, but you could do it. And I forget how, because I don't. Yeah. So basically, if you want to work on something, you could create a new layer, and then you basically paste in like an image from Google, and then you could right click and then go to right click over here, go to properties, and then change the opacity up to like 81. Let me change layer 2, because layer 2 has the PDF, because when you click on it you can see the dots, so that means that I'm working on this layer. So I go to properties, and I'll change the opacity to like 87, which did nothing. Change the opacity to like yeah, so you change it down and it makes it less visible. So then you could add another layer on top of it, and then you could lock this layer so it doesn't adjust this layer, and then you could basically trace over the layer, and then you could just delete the layer underneath it, and then you have like this document. So you could unlock it, you could make it not visible, and then make it visible again. So if you need to trace stuff really quickly, and I'm gonna go to properties and go over here, make it 100% opaque, and then click here, and those are most of the tools. Here's like the text tool, here's the eraser tool, and that's mostly what I use. So you could go to File, and you could export image, and you got the image over here. You could turn off remapping certain colors to transparent or not, if you want white to be mapped to transparent or not. And basically over here you have like I do like PNG, and you could work with transparency for making sure like the white background gets mapped to transparent, and then you click save, and you just save it as a PNG file. And you could also save it as a .fla if you want to open it in Adobe Animate later on and work on a project or work on a drawing again. And then I export it as a JPEG so that I can work on it in Adobe Illustrator. So Adobe Illustrator, you basically do File, New, and then you could open up the image that you did. And if you go to View and Window and Image Trace, so after you open up your image, you can like highlight the image, let me just let me put like the PDF thing on my desktop real quick. Yeah, so let's just say I have this here. So now I'm gonna basically do an image trace. This is so you could do like a logo in Adobe After Effects. So once you do this, then you do like high fidelity photo, or whichever. You could do you could do just color, and then select like 15 colors, and then you click trace, and it'll trace the image. And once you trace the image, you can select like the white areas, and you could delete them out if you don't want the white areas to be like in your image. You could do that, and you could just delete out the white areas from here, and then you could just do a file, save as, and you save it as an Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator document, and you click save, and then you open up Adobe After Effects, and you can basically copy it over to here, and then this pop up, it'll say like choose layer, press OK. So you got the layer right here, and see how this layer it has the white in here. This is just because I didn't save that file that I did, but if I did save, I'd actually delete out the white areas. So I got this Adobe Illustrator file in here. You click here, make it 3D, and then you right click here and then do create shapes from vector layer, which makes it 3D, and then you click over here and do geometry options, bevel depth, material options. You could change like how it accepts light and stuff. And yeah, so extrusion depth, bevel depth isn't important. So extrusion depth is how wide it is, so in 3D. So here's like a wider 3D PDF, and then you click up here to like rotate it on whichever axis. There's a Y, Z, and X axis. So you could rotate it. Notice how I rotated it. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do R for rotate, and you could rotate it in here. PDF, yeah. Oh, I'm rotating the wrong one. Yeah, so I'm rotating the outlines now. So I'll rotate this like 250 degrees. And then after one, here's one rotation, it goes back to 1, 2 rotations, etc. So that's how you could like rotate like a thing. So if you want to set like a stopping point, a starting point, a stopping point, you click the stopwatch here, and then you go over here and you say like I want it to be rotated 360 degrees here. So then over this timeline, the shape moves like that. And that's how you get a 3D logo rotating. And if you want different types of layers in here, you can do layer, new, and solid. And it'll bring up this screen. You can change the color of whatever solid you want over here. So I want a red solid, I'll press OK. And then I'll basically resize it, put it back over here, and then I'll just say like, I'll make it a 3D layer. And I'll say like, I want it to be geometry options, material options, cast shadows on. So cast shadows in a 3D environment. And I'm going to say that, let me rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it. So it does like a shadow in like 3D, because wherever my light is going to change wherever the shadow appears behind it. So you can make it bigger, and it has like a bigger shadow. And yeah, so that's how that works. And yeah, you could like work around, and you could do like masks for your thing, and you could basically like draw out whatever, like it's like cropping whatever part of the image you want to keep. And you could do like they have effects, and they have like blur and sharpen. So like radial blur will make something sharper or not sharp. And then you can use like keying, I think a key light or something like that. You can use like a green screen and remove the green screen behind you in a video recording, and it edits out a certain color, like green. So you can put your video in a different background behind it. And then you could do like there are like YouTube videos just on these different effects, and you could like import like videos of whatever happening, and you could like edit and overlay different things over each other. And I can make videos like on each of these different things, and yeah, you could just like play around with it. And those are the different effects. And you go to layer, new. So I showed you a solid layer, I'll show you a text layer. So yeah, I just input a text layer here, so I'm just going to type in like text layer, and let me zoom in, and I'll reposition my screen. So the text is 52, so I'll make it like that, and I'll drag it over here. It says text layer, so you can highlight the text, and you can press like Control Shift and greater than sign to make it bigger, or you could change the text size over here. And over here you could change like how stacked it is, like how tall it is, and over here you could change like how wide the text is, and all this other stuff. You could change all the different fonts to New York Times, and yeah, so that's how to change like different text layers, layer, new, and light. So you could add like a spotlight or point light, or there are different types of lights, and you could change like where you want the light to be located, and that'll change like where the light is. And if you do shadows, you could change whether or not different shapes, if they accept the shadow or not. And yeah, you can like rotate it similar to like the XY axis before, XYZ axis before, and yeah, you could like move it like that. And yeah, like here's like a time thing, so you basically press a file and now composition and add to render queue when you're done with your video, and I'll add it down here, and you basically select here and you type in whatever name you want and you export it as an AVI. You click render, and based on how fast your computer is, it'll actually render. And like if you click down here under lossless, it'll bring over here, and you can change the different formats. If MP3, you could add an MP3 in here, and PNG, and you press OK, and then you click render, and it'll render slowly. So I'll just do render. So it'll render over time, and then this blue bar fills as it's rendering. So like obviously whatever you had to do, it does it over there. So that's how you can create like a video. It takes about like, my computer, it takes about like 3 minutes to edit like a 10-second video and output it as a .avi. So basically once this gets output, you can open up Adobe Premiere and Adobe Premiere Pro, and let me just open that up real quick. It's also part of Adobe Creative Cloud. That's like the other video editing software. So like this .avi file, it's pretty large, but so you just press like new and create a new project, click yes, and you just bring it over on the other screen. So basically over here you could import all of the different, I'm just going to wait for this video to finish creating, then I'll import it into Adobe Premiere. Basically down here you can just drag and drop all the different videos, and you can add them over to the timeline. You just click the video here and you drag it over to here onto the timeline, and that'll let you edit the video. I'm just going to show a few more things on Adobe After Effects while I wait for this video to finish. I don't need to, but yeah, so I mean, once you do like composition, or you could do file composition same frame as, so you could save like a particular point in the video as an image. So you could save an image because it has good quality images. And I mean, if you do composition, you could do composition settings, and you could change the size of the composition. So like say this is like 1,000 by 1,000, you can make it like 2,000 by 2,000, so it's like larger. And you could change like the size of the composition, and you could change all that other stuff. And yeah, I mean, this is like how long it took me. You could click back to go back to your composition over here. It looks like that just finished. So I'm going to import that into my Adobe Premiere. I just imported that over here, so I'm going to drag and drop over here, and you could drag this to make it smaller, to work with smaller clips, and you could use this to like slice and dice the video into different parts, and you could drag and drop over here and put it on different layers for working with audio and with video. And basically press I to start the video and press O to end the video, and you can like scroll anywhere in here to get anywhere in the video. And then once you're done, you go to File and Export Media, and that'll bring up the screen here. So I select H.264, which makes it .mp4, and it makes it very small. Like it'll make the video less gigabytes or megabytes, so that it's easier to upload or store on your computer. And then you click Export here. You don't have to do a key, you can just do export, and it'll export to wherever your output name is here, and it saves your video. So that's basically what I use Adobe Premiere for. It's a little bit quicker and easier to work with video. And you could add different effects here, such as like zoom in, zoom out, or scale. So you could change like how big something is, and you could do like speed duration for like how much sped up you want it to be or slowed down you want it to be. For whatever selection you do, you can do scale to zoom in or zoom out. You can do position if you want to reposition your video and scale it up in a certain area. And yeah, so that's like basic video editing. You can click the scale here, and then you can go back here and you can change it to like 50 here. So let me just click scale here, and then I'll click 500. So as the time goes on, it'll, oh, these are, that's because these are separate videos. 1 second. So you can, I don't know how you merge them together again, but I'm sure there's a way to like merge them together again. Yeah, and the reason it's not scaling over time is just because I have the effect only added to this portion of the video. So yeah, I mean, you can, yeah, that's basically what I use it for. You press export, and then you got your video edited, and then you could upload it to wherever you need to upload it to. So that's how you make a website, how you add WordPress to it, how do you create a logo, how you edit a video, and then how you compress a video into a smaller video to upload it.